Previously on 3 Beers In.
Wait, Internal Affairs has been in and out the whole time?
The Knights of Hell are picked by Lucifer himself.
If I'm going down, you're going down with me.
Why?
Cut the green wire, Cutter.
You'll never get away with this.
We'll see.
If the situation were reversed and I was dying, would you do the same thing?
No, I wouldn't.
I'm gonna bing it when I get home.
There is a podcast no one asked for. A podcast you never knew you didn't want. 3 Beers In. This is the podcast.
I anticipate a deeply religious experience.
Well, you know when I think about that?
Switching from the 2 sweet beers to Circle Envy.
Yes.
Oh my!
It's a big difference there.
That's a big stark contrast, and I'm not sure I dig it.
I like it.
It's hard to make that transition.
That's my
I have
jam.
to keep drinking.
So
It's malty. I like it.
I like Circle. I have been to their brewery. I've had Envy before. Really, really like it.
Yeah, I thought that was your favorite from them.
It totally is. Well, the my favorite you can get in a can.
Real quick, Cutter, you like everything. You don't have to tell us every time.
Yeah, but I just like to remind everybody that this is a really good beer.
Which one, Envy?
The Envy.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Well, no, not just Envy, just literally every beer.
Has he not said that for every beer he's had?
I'm trying to think. Today, yes, he definitely liked them today. But would you say the second one didn't have as much flavor?
I like the second one differently.
It had a good coldness to it.
Yeah.
He really liked the
If you like cold beer, it was
It's
cold.
for you.
What's really interesting about this Circle is that I feel like after those first 2 beers, it tastes differently than what I remember it tasting like. And I like this still. I like the beer.
For some reason, I'm getting chocolate notes in it now.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, wait. What about raisins? Do you taste the raisins?
I try not to.
I taste
Sarah, do you taste the raisins?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like
Those raisins are there.
It kind of does actually taste like raisins.
does.
I taste it.
well, guys, you know what?
Don't put that evil on me.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby!
Hey, do these macaroons have a raisin element in them?
They don't.
Oh.
They taste like
Don't look
chocolate
disappointed.
covered raisins.
So if they're not raisins, what are we looking at right
So
now? Ooh.
cardamom is a spice.
Okay. I was like,
It's an Indian spice, right?
the only
Yeah.
mom that we joke about around here is Cutter, so.
Wait, whoa.
Our listener.
They already know who Mustang Sally is.
Do they?
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay.
You were listening. Yeah. You said you listened.
You
Said
liar.
a lot of things.
Yeah, like remember the reference that I forgot already earlier?
Alamo.
Yeah, no.
We're about to lose all of our pro Alamo demographic.
No, the pro.
No, the pro Alamo is with us. It's the pro Santa Ana,
It's the pro Santa Ana people who aren't going to be with us after episode 7 comes.
which people outside of Texas might not know.
Yeah, I'm not a Texan. I
It's a
have no
history
idea what you guys
lesson.
are talking. The names are familiar. Let's go to the mall.
Having fun is what it's all about.
But you didn't study it in school.
Sure didn't. Not in Illinois.
Oh, come on.
But that
But
brings
we
up an
should.
interesting point
As
from
we
a
said
previous.
before, hold on. As we said before, all other states should be required to
Take Texas history.
Very, very true.
It's just better.
know where we come from.
Well, it's just an interesting idea that Texas is very, very proud of Texas. Would you say that Illinois is very proud of Illinois?
We like
See,
Our
that's
sports
way,
team.
That's way too long of a wait.
Are there Illinois flags everywhere?
No.
Okay.
I can't think of what an Illinois flag looks like.
Does everyone here know what a Texas flag looks like?
Yeah.
There you go.
What about the
Case
Kansas flag?
closed. No
Is
one
it
cares.
square?
Does it have ruby slippers on it?
See?
I love that.
It should.
There you go.
It should. It should.
The second Wizard of Oz joke.
Somebody that would get,
Oh, nice.
but the first one that somebody understood.
You guys got it after a while.
Let's take a moment.
It doesn't
Let's
count.
Enjoy these macarons.
Oh yeah. Oh, and also Tony was trying to talk about the beer.
I can't eat and drink.
So
I gotta pick one or the other.
Just dunk it.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Not with that attitude. Hey guys, so Circle Brewery here in Austin is located pretty close to Culver's on our north side. Last week when we were at Adelbert's, they referred to their area as Austin's growing brewery district.
I need to jump in here. This macaron is my jam.
Yes.
Really?
Yes,
How is the cardamom? Can you taste the spice?
I don't know what that is.
I got a name
Yeah,
for
it's like cinnamony.
Yeah.
So
It's like
Little bit.
when you have Fruit Loops and you finish
Yeah.
it
Yes.
and then milk
Yeah.
afterwards,
Or
and
the
you
Fruit
just pour
Loops.
that last
Cereal milk.
Yeah.
The best.
So good.
FROOT.
No.
Wait, isn't that in cardamom?
Cardamom.
Cardamom.
Yeah, in Earl Grey tea, right?
Yeah.
See? Fruit Loops. Boom, buddy.
So wait, you're saying Fruit Loops this whole
No.
time have cardamom?
No, he's saying that Earl Grey tea.
I make an Earl Grey too. Earl Grey macaron.
So I had when I was at Angeline's, I had it there Earl Grey, and it was delicious.
Yep.
Man, you know what else I could see this going? Like drinking Blue Moon and eating this.
All right, guys. So Circle Brewery, it's a really fun brew experience. It's a tap room and brewery. So you could go in and have the beers there. I'm not sure if you can actually take away, like if they fill growlers. I think they did last time I was there.
Wrench does. I found that out today when I was looking for this Rattler.
Hey, did you tell them about our podcast?
I did not.
Hey,
I had to go pick up my daughter from school.
No, to be fair, they already know about our podcast.
True. So, a little bit of background on Circle. They've been around since 2010, and they subscribe to the philosophy that less is more.
But do they subscribe to our podcast?
Not yet.
Not yet. So, less is more. So, that's, I think there was an architect that said that. Was that Mies van der Rohe or like...
Yes.
This is one of those, yeah. So, Circle endeavors to create better beer using simply water, malt, hops, yeast, and absolutely nothing else.
Yeah, that's kind of like Live Oak's philosophy.
It really is. It's incredible to see that they don't have the additives. The last brewery we were at, they had specific yeast they stuck to, but they also, there was one that was... Yeah, hibiscus
Mango.
in there. Very random.
Oh, you mean like
Mango.
adding cucumber?
So you're saying they conform to the Reinheitsgebot,
I am saying yes, they do. And
the Bavarian purity law?
Do they actually though? Because what are the allowed ingredients?
I think it is
Well-
before.
Wasn't one of them.
No, yeast wasn't one of them. They didn't know yeast existed back then. They've since ratified it to include yeast. So there's 4 ingredients that
They
you can
put
have.
rats in it?
Yes.
So
Well, he's under the hat, and then he tells the guy what to cook.
So, we are drinking the Circle Envy, but I think most of us are more familiar with Circle's Blur. They are award-winning for their Alibi Blonde.
Really?
Yeah, I've never had that.
All 3 great beers. What's surprising is that they don't push as much. They have some really good ESBs and nitro. You can get those on premises.
They recently did a pairing with Girl Scout cookies, right?
Nice.
Yes, I think they did.
These macarons are better than Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, totally.
You should sell these like outside of every CVS and everything.
Or
Texas cottage laws, I can't
Starting
sell.
now, we campaign to change that
Yes.
just for macarons.
It got voted down, but it's going back for a vote.
And what specifically is that saying? That you can't sell something you make at home in a store?
Right, through a retail.
Gotcha. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Texas cottage law is pretty lax compared to other states.
Go Texas.
Yeah, go Texas. But yeah, that's the one thing that they're kind of like, nope.
That's really interesting, the things that they choose to put their foot down on.
Yeah.
Carry as many guns as you want.
Don't you
until
sell your
recently-
cookies through a
well,
store,
and
though.
Until recently, it was like, carry as many guns as you want, but you can't carry a sword. Well, we fixed that problem. Now let's fix this cottage industry problem.
Hey guys, so we're familiar with Circle's Blur, Envy, and Alibi, but did you know they have a Doppelblur?
Yes, but it's only available in their tap room, right?
Only available in the tap room.
Is it seasonal as well, or just?
I don't
or is
think
it
so.
year-round?
I think it's year round, but it's limited run. It's considered an imperial heft. It has clove and bananas.
The
Clove and bananas.
The devil's fruit.
I started laughing when I read that, and I was like, "How have we not come up on this before?"
Literally,
wheat.
yeah.
has
It
that
has
flavor.
that.
I know, but I haven't said it. So we are drinking the Envy, which is an amber. It is 26 IBUs. It is 4.8%, so a little bit stronger alcohol content than what we were drinking. Doesn't particularly taste higher alcohol content. I mean, just tastes like, I'd say on par with the last one that we drank. It is available on draft and in cans. I believe, yeah, I've had this on
Cans?
draft a lot of places.
You don't say.
Yeah.
The
Just
hell
tell
yes.
it to our fine listeners out there who may not be able to see us right now.
They can't see you winking either.
I didn't wink. I gave the finger gun. Did I wink also? I could have. So one of the interesting things about this though is I like it. I've had this multiple places. It's not very high on Beer Advocate. And surprisingly, a lot of their beers were low on Beer Advocate. And I was like, okay, I get that you might not like it, but they're like low 3s out of 5.
Wow. I've really enjoyed pretty much everything I've had from
here.
Circle.
I mean, it's an average beer, not a bad beer.
Like a
But there's
C
average,
student.
and then there's plenty of great beers that you can have before you get to an average
And
beer.
that's why we need to operate on scale, guys.
Yeah, yes or
You
no.
like it or you don't like it.
That's right.
And it's always a yes for Cutter.
I'm probably gonna like it.
So this beer, typically around $5 a pint at most places. It is bold, smooth. They describe it as molasses flavored.
Molasses has that burnt brown sugar kind of
Yeah.
caramel taste.
So they're channeling the flavors of an old style ESB, rich and earthy, British malt, slightly higher fermentation temperatures. I thought that was interesting that they included that in there. Versus like the last 2 weeks
So it's not a lager?
Yeah, last 2 weeks we dealt with lagers that they went through the decoction process.
Last week was not a lager.
It wasn't?
No, it was an ale.
Oh, okay.
But they did lager it after fermenting, which is just pretty much cold storage.
Ah.
Okay, so this is a lager or an ale? What are we drinking?
This is an ale,
This is an ale.
right?
Amber ale.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's fermented.
British style pub ale is what
Warm.
they called it.
Oh, see, there you go. What was I saying about British beers earlier? Mix them with
Not
soda, and then
Mix
you
them with
gotta-
lemonade or
something.
something.
I could see this with lemonade. I don't know about
Mix
soda,
it.
and definitely not club soda.
Ross is gonna give me a
Well,
shot, so I don't.
For science.
For science.
We're testing limits.
Science.
Science.
Bill Nye.
Bill.
His original, like Bill Nye the Science Guys on Netflix, and my 8-year-old boys are like obsessed.
Do they hold up?
Yeah.
Did you guys know that Dolph Lundgren has more degrees than Bill Nye?
I did read that.
I think he has 5.
Boom roasted, Canada.
Hey, they're not going to give us money now. Their money is made out of syrup anyway, so
Oh, delicious money.
And bacon.
I prefer syrup.
Toonies?
Loonies, right?
You know, loon is one of the most depressed birds there is.
Why is it so sad?
I think because it lives in Canada.
Probably.
Well, there goes our Canada.
So we'd like to take this moment to shout out our fans out in Canada.
There's BAY Podcast.
That's who I was about to,
Well, in case you didn't say it right, I had to jump in
Those
there.
guys know all about the ESB.
Do they know
Oh, I'm sure they do.
The ESP.
I thought you were going to say ESB like the beer style. I was like, why would they specifically?
Oh, I
know
thought
that?
that. Oh, actually, both. Actually, I don't think they've done an episode about ESP, but that's sort of what they do.
Yeah, paranormal stuff, right?
Yeah, paranormal, future tech. They talk about Elon Musk a lot.
Wait. So they talk about beer and paranormal?
No, I think they just drink
'Cause
while
they
they
should.
name it.
Oh, I was like, they should have an ESP episode.
Did y'all see the arc? Elon Musk went all chickenpox blanket on, or smallpox blanket on some alien civilization
By sending his car.
Worried that, like, the bacteria from Earth that's on the car is going to land on some alien planet and like wipe out an entire civilization.
That's incredible.
Hey, did you know Elon is actually short for elongated muskrat?
Nice.
So on this next one, I'm actually only going to have half of it. So if anybody wants to split
I'll take
it.
the other half.
All right. I really like this beer. I really like their...
I liked it before, but now, I don't know.
Before what?
Before I added the lemonade.
The fact that this is pretty
Before you
good,
ruined it.
It's still good.
I mean, it really shouldn't be too surprising that this doesn't taste horrible because we paired it with an orange.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it's
True.
Citrus, same family of fruit.
I barely tasted lemonade in here though.
You know what's interesting about citrus is it's not really nature's fruit.
No, raisins though.
Raisins are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? With this being a citrus macaron, I feel like this would go really well with the hef as well.
The wrench.
Yeah, the wrench.
Hefeweizen. It's just called Hefeweizen. They're not fancy that way. They don't want to. They tell you what's in the beer, what the beer is.
So
I appreciate that actually.
Yeah.
So moving back stateside, my husband and I have yet to have a Hefeweizen that tastes like a Hefeweizen in Germany.
What would you say the major difference is?
I don't know. I think it's just the environment and the ingredients because
how it's made.
Yeah, and just the
So
climate.
whose idea was it to go from light to heavy?
Isn't that that's how you should
feeling
do it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally how you should do it. If you did heavy to light, you wouldn't be able to
you
taste
wouldn't be able to
anything
light.
down the line.
And you'd probably suffer like the whole night.
Absolutely.
From the first.
I feel like
from the
You need, like-
9.1.
this imperial milk stout that we're about
It's
to
intimidating.
Hey, Coder.
Hey, Ross.
Remember tonight's sponsor, Canada?
Yes, I know them really well, I think now.
Yeah, right now you're probably saying, Ross, I've heard every fact about Canada. You can't tell me anything new. Well, you've got some attitude, mister.
I'm sorry.
Did you know that every year the province of Manitoba is home to the world's largest snake gathering?
I did not know that.
So if you're ever trying to find an ex-girlfriend to get your Made in Manhattan DVD back, you might want to check there first. Canada, where Hanson never left the spotlight.
They still tour.
Idiot.
I didn't get that one. What?
Wait, so is that true about the world's largest snake gathering?
Yeah.
Is it garter snakes?
Yes, actually red-sided garter snakes, something like that. They have snake pits. there,
Wait.
which is what they're called.
Wait.
The snake
Wait,
pit.
the snakes like migrate there?
They hibernate. Canada actually has a large and diverse population of snakes.
I thought you were going to say polar bears.
I tried to do that first, but then I found this this fact online and I was like, oh, cool.
Black bears.
This is actually true.
Black bears.
I was gonna say there are more bears in Canada than people, but I don't think that's true.
So they actually have a
They're not gonna
mixture
fact check.
of grizzly bears
Our
and
listeners would
polar
fact
bears. They have a
Growler.
No, they're called pizzly bears. They really are.
What's
No,
a
I-
pizzly?
They
What?
just call them polar
It's
bears?
a mixture between a polar bear and a grizzly bear because with global warming, and I hate to take this on a sad route.
Yeah,
the polar bears are going further
Yeah,
south.
yeah. And
You
then
mean the myth of global warming?
Yeah. There's also a hybrid of the polar bears and black bears. They're called Polak bears.
Yeah, hey,
That should be
didn't
fought,
they
I
build
think.
the
do they turn out gray?
submarine with the screen
Should.
door? And didn't they try to send the rocket ship to the sun at night?
I think they did.
Can we move on? Yes. To this
Sure.
next beer, please?
Hang on.
Because I'm just sitting.
I had a polar bear joke.
Hey, remember a couple of weeks ago when Tony gave us beer, like bottle of bears? Yeah. I left mine at home.
I'm sharing with Tony.
That's probably the wisest. This is a lot.
I have my moments.
That is German.
Yeah. That is the best Berliner Weiss decision.
Ich
All right.
ein Berliner.
Let's do it.
Oh, that's not good.
Did you just say you're a jelly donut?
I did.
I'm a meat popsicle.
I get that reference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you get that reference, Cutter?
I've heard it before. I know that much.
It is from the best movie ever.
What do we got here, guys? We got the
Temptress.
from
It's
Lakewood Brewing.
yes, it's a 9.1% ABV
Oh.
imperial. It's an imperial milk stout. also known as sweet stout. So it's brewed with lactose, which gives it more of a body and a silky mouthfeel.
Who doesn't enjoy a silky mouthfeel?
Yeah.
I know
And
I do.
it's from Lakewood Brewery. It's actually not a local brewery. It's from Garland, Texas.
What? Is that where Hank Hill's from?
No, that's Arlen. That's a
Oh.
made up place. Sort of equidistance between Houston, Dallas, and Austin.
I know macarons aren't listed on the pairs well with.
Oh, yeah, it has,
pairs well with
pairings.
robust blue cheese, dark chocolate, and sin. So
Oh.
I feel like 9.1 is definitely pairs with sin.
Yeah, I don't think you even need two. Probably just one will get you.
So, guys, I have tasted the beer. It's delicious. But what are we pairing it with right now? There are two different.
There are. I couldn't decide. These are
these the St. Patrick ones?
The St. Patrick's ones. Yeah, they're so the green are just Bailey's, Irish coffee, and the chocolate are chocolate stout made with Guinness.
That is awesome.
This
So
is fantastic.
we can only have half of each, though.
I can totally have the full thing because they're awesome.
I added a lot of Guinness.
I don't think.
Yeah.
So are macarons like, say, normal cooking where
No, they're assholes. They're assholes.
No, yeah, they.
Wait, you've
they're-
been eating assholes?
Yes.
Hey, didn't you have a meme for
That's why mine are cheaper than everyone else's.
Look, I don't know if everybody's out there eating ass, but that is what they're talking about on the internet all the time. Okay.
Is that the pity taste that I was tasting?
nickels.
Nickels.
Tastes like nickels.
Hot nickels.
Hot nickels. So I'm not sure where that came from. I was going to ask
They're
if
just
the
assholes
alcohol...
to make.
No, I was going to ask if the alcohol burns off.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I made a reduction with the Guinness.
Oh.
Sorry, the alcohol is burned off in that one, but the Baileys,
Very
I added
fancy.
straight Baileys and didn't do anything with it.
Into the cream. I
Into
guess?
the buttercream, yep.
It's better
Would
than
you-
the beer. I'm not a fan of the beer.
Would you pair this? Would you pair this macaron with coffee?
Yes, absolutely.
Like I feel like that would be like a
Yep.
Bailey's and coffee
Yep.
is a thing. So
I thought you were going to say asshole.
Well, she did call it an Irish coffee.
the best way to start
Yeah.
your day.
Yeah.
Are there notes of fruit in this one?
I get none.
I
don't
get
think so.
I get the alcohol.
Yeah, it's you're feeling that 9 point. Was
Yeah.
it 9.1%?
I get chocolate.
Yeah, there's a bitter. There's.
Mhm.
I was hoping it would be a little bit sweeter, a little smoother.
I'm not really getting the vanilla.
No, I'm not really getting much.
I think it's just really tough after drinking like two sweeter beers.
Yeah.
Even with the amber in between, switching to this, man.
You're feeling it?
Pretty rough.
Well, just one, I'm
Your taste
full.
buds are-
Yes.
Two, my taste buds are just like, this is just kind of so much more bitter to switch from that sweet. All kinds of haywire right now.
we did have two kind of Radler shandy styles, like
Yeah.
right started off, which like that,
So, are you suggesting mixing this with lemonade?
chocolate lemonade, yeah. Why
Yeah.
not?
I think chocolate milk would probably be a good mix. Make like a White Russian.
What are you, 6?
Mixing beer with milk?
It's 9.1%.
Yeah. I feel like
You're still gonna get a decent.
let's just hope CPS doesn't start following this.
What about pouring this over ice cream?
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
That's
Yes.
ice cream, like always.
Oh, totally. Would this be considered a stout?
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
a flower.
It's an imperial milk stout.
I'd
So
say
then,
yes.
yes.
What is it skull?
Ugh.
Shoal?
Got some dip in there.
Where are we?
The red.
Big red
Underneath
one,
that?
right below that.
Underneath
Shoot time
that?
with
Underneath
orange.
that?
Big
Oh.
red word.
Oh, skull.
Skull.
Isn't that like Cheers?
Yes.
Okay.
In what language?
That's a terrible.
I feel like it's German, but
Not, because that would be
Mm-mm.
gross.
Prost.
what would that be?
Somewhere in Eastern Europe,
Well, if
like
only
Czech
we had a
Republic.
way to look this up,
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, why don't you bing it?
Okay.
Skull.
because it's not
Czech Republic.
Peruvian.
Skull.
You know, we have done so much to
We're
raise.
so close.
We've done so much to raise Bing's profile in this. I feel like Microsoft should be sponsoring us. So one of the cool things about Bing is that every single day on their homepage, they have some really awesome photos. It'll be like a
Yeah, you can
castle
set
or a beach.
your phone to the daily Bing picture.
Exactly.
Or your
it looks
desktop
pretty cool.
on your computer.
Did you mean the only cool thing about Bing?
Well, once you look at search
Well,
engines,
if you need
they're
to get
all
around
pulling the
Peru.
same information.
Yeah, what? Hey,
Yes, they all take you to Peru.
just so we're clear, so they do give you like perks and stuff, right?
Oh, totally.
That'll stop whenever more than one person starts using.
But until that time, I'm totally banking on it. So you do, I think it's something around like 5,000 points. Maybe it's 5,000 searches. I don't know how they give you your points. But they'll give you a $5 Amazon gift card. And it's like, what are you getting from Google? They're just using your information for free.
No, it's like
For free.
Google is the right answer all of the time.
Well, what if you roll the dice every once in a while and you get $5 every once in a while?
Live a little.
That should be their new slogan.
Totally.
Live a little.
Live a little.
Do you really need to know where Skull is originated? It told me Pflugerville Schools. That is literally what came up on my search. I'm not lying right now. Like, I could probably
like
go 50 results before they're like, oh yeah, that's Dutch.
You can go 15 results before you hit
No, 50. Yeah.
before you hit Wikipedia.
So guys, how are we feeling about this Bailey's Macaron?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I prefer the chocolate one. It's delicious.
Have you had?
The Guinness.
I love the Bailey's one because you can still taste the
Yeah,
Bailey's in it.
yeah.
It doesn't all burn. So between the
Now we're
chocolate,
recording.
and it's did it stop?
No. Come on, Tony.
I'm a little slow, guys.
Is
I
this your
got a
first
reference.
podcast?
A little slow, eh?
I got that reference too.
Canada.
So this is one
Old
of the.
Whitey.
So I also come from a military background.
Okay.
I was born overseas, so
Excellent segue.
they like to. I won't say harp on the fact.
Well,
but attach themselves to the fact that I was born in England.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, and your mom is British.
yes, and I was.
I had no idea where you were born or cared.
Oh, I did.
Well, we all got to Texas as soon as we could,
Cutter was actually born here.
Yeah.
and you left.
Well, not by choice. I was
He didn't have
five.
it.
You were
I didn't-
dragged
I didn't ask.
from the great
Wait,
state of Texas.
You were 5. You could walk.
You
Yeah.
could have walked away
You could have left
from
your family.
Kansas.
That's a long ways.
You could have been picked up by a tornado that deposited you.
Yeah, somewhere over the rainbow, Texas.
Aw. Another Wizard of Oz reference.
Yeah, we got him here on the podcast. This is the podcast.
This is the podcast.
This is the podcast.
This is the podcast.
So Imperial, because Tony is British.
Well, you realize what they're saying in Imperial in the British style.
No,
Actually, it
it means a high alcohol content.
yeah.
In the British style.
That's what it means.
High alcohol.
Imperial. means-
I don't think it's actually British. Hey, a fun fact. Did you know that during World War II, British government outlawed the use of milk in beer, and the milk stout almost died out, almost went extinct. It was revived. Yeah, it was revived by craft and home brewers.
We got the Imperial milk stout.
That's what we have today, yes.
Thank you, British people.
So I'm just breaking into this chocolate. Oh my god. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So what is it that we're looking at? Is this just plain
Guinness.
chocolate and Guinness?
Guinness.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a chocolate ganache, which is made with heavy cream and
I thought
chocolate.
it was a Macaron.
It
No,
is.
the ganache is okay.
It's the filling. But yes. And then I
Hey.
made a Guinness reduction.
Not all of us are cake bosses here, Ross. Okay?
Well, I used to put a chocolate ganache in my macarons. Apparently, Tony doesn't remember them at all. But so they couldn't have been that good
Why do you say that?
because you said that earlier.
Tonight?
Yes.
I totally remember your
It's fine.
macarons.
It's fine.
Look at this.
Now, backpedaling now.
British guy
Yeah.
lying to you
Mhm.
constantly.
But being very polite about it.
Being very polite about it.
I'm almost Canadian in my politeness.
Well, that's what
Who is
makes you
more
British.
polite, the British or the Canadian?
Canadians.
Canadians by far.
Yeah. Actually, they have, I don't think it's a law. It might be. It's called the Sorry Amendment, Sorry Law. So in Canada, they say sorry so much that they just say it. But in a court of law, you can't use that as an indictment of guilt. Or that you're at fault because you said sorry. Sorry just
So if somebody
simply
says
means
you're
that
guilty
you feel bad
of-
about something, not that you are the cause of something.
Oh.
What happens when they play like Parker Brothers games?
Sorry.
It's not an admission of guilt.
No, exactly. You're just sad. You just feel bad that they had to go back to start.
Did they invent that game?
Probably.
That's
That's
Sorry.
probably a Canadian. Sorry. Canadian.
How do those Parker brothers? Speaking of games, have you guys seen the new Jumanji?
Probably
not. Hey, you have?
Like she was watching it earlier. That's what all the noise was.
The new Jumanji.
I saw it in theaters actually. I've seen it twice now.
It was really good.
I've only seen it. Oh, Oh, so now you're piping up that you've seen it.
Just like
What were you saying?
We were just talking about board games, and it came to mind. It was pretty good, actually. I thought the first
The
one.
new one, it's not a board game.
Well, in the beginning, it is.
And then Colin Hanks had.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Didn't he play the kid too?
He didn't play the kid, no. Nick Jonas, one of the Jonas brothers.
Oh, no, that was
the
in the
first
game.
during the opening scene. Didn't he do the?
Obviously not. He's not a child.
Robert Downey Jr. wasn't like 18 when they filmed that whole backwards scene in the last Captain.
Wait, no. They went back in time and they brought Robert Downey Jr.
They actually
from.
time traveled to get that shot.
That makes sense now.
There you go.
But no, the new Jumanji was actually pretty good. I was a fan of.
Wait, we've all seen the Jumanji movie?
No, 3 of us. All of us have seen the first one.
It was a really good movie.
It
I
was.
think you would totally enjoy it. It's not meant for
Jumanji?
little kids.
See,
yeah.
The new one?
Yeah.
I
It's
took
not
my
just
kids
for
and they're
little
8.
They did like it?
Yeah.
I was a big fan of the first one,
Yep.
which
yep,
was, we can all agree that it was amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Did the new one have Robin Williams in it?
No, but he was mentioned.
He was.
He was.
Actually, which I was
his
like.
There's an homage.
Yes, his character.
Yeah.
Alan
Paris.
Parrish.
Yeah. And I was expecting that it wouldn't be really any good, but
Right.
it was.
It was good.
Good.
It had Dwayne the Rock Johnson in it.
Well,
And
of course.
Kevin
It
Hart.
also
But
had
it
Jack
also
Black.
exactly.
I liked
Thank
all,
you, Cutter. Thank you.
I liked all of the characters except for the young Jonas brother. He was totally unnecessary in the movie.
I like Jack Black, but he's not for everyone.
Jack Black was a pleasant surprise in that movie. I
Yes.
feel like he was funny.
Like the peeing part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
What about Reese Darby?
I love Reese Darby and everything he does, so I'm a little biased.
Well, he was in our last podcast, which you haven't listened to, but
because you just posted it on
I listened to
there are a number of people.
I listen to your podcast when I make macarons.
Oh.
That's nice.
I do.
Inspiration.
And Chance, who couldn't be here, listens while he's taking a bubble bath.
You know what? In my head, I was gonna say bubble bath. I was literally, that's what I was imagining. His bald head.
That's ESP.
That's the ESV.
Man.
Confirmed.
I'm not even joking right now. That is what popped into my head.
ESB.
In a
Yes.
bubble bath, listening to the podcast while reading the notebook.
There's some candles going, aren't there?
Oh, well, of course.
Maybe a lush bath bomb.
Very, very soothing.
Wait,
Yes.
he's not listening to the audio version of 50 Shades of Grey?
No, he's
No.
still standing.
Who
next to
narrates
the fire.
that?
You guys don't get that.
Delta Burke.
I do declare.
Whoa, we got some leather on this page.
I would listen to that. Or if it were read by Gerald McCraney.
Oh, Major Dad. I
And
don't
he
know.
was,
That'd be weird.
He was one of the Simons in Simon and Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever stayed home from school.
Yeah.
Nope, never,
Yeah.
never.
Or during the summer, you
Yeah,
get to
the
stay
Major
home.
Dad one. That's a
Never.
reference.
Major
I
Dad.
get.
Yeah.
I'm completely lost.
Cutter
in
gets
all of that.
references.
I get 90s references apparently.
There's a cutoff.
They're still going strong, by the way.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the early seasons of Saved by the Bell?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was
Henry
there.
Mills?
Yeah,
Friday?
yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
what about Haley Mills and Haley Mills?
Yes, what's it?
That wasn't Freaky Friday.
That was
Parent Trap.
Parent Trap? Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Cutter does not get all the references.
No.
So
That as an
movie, that
that is
movie
an
of
actually
Disney, that era of Disney was really good.
So Saved by
Except
the Bell.
for Herbie.
Ugh,
God, man. A Volkswagen with a mind of its own?
stupid.
That is just terrifying.
It's like driving in Austin.
It's like a precursor to what was the Stephen King?
Christine.
Christine.
That is one of my favorite Stephen King
It's a good one.
movies.
So guys, on this last beer, on the Temptress, which one did you prefer the most? The Bailey's or the chocolate ganache?
Bailey's.
Chocolate.
I would say chocolate.
Two for chocolate.
Which one's the green one?
The Bailey's.
Okay, yeah.
The non-chocolate looking one.
Boom roasted.
Boom roasted.
Hey, I don't see colors.
He's actually colorblind. Yeah.
Way to bring up an old.
Sorry.
My grandma died when I was 6. You want to talk about that too?
Well, you have fit in very well with our group by burning
Thank you.
Joel.
Roasting Joel.
Roll? Are we going to try to say roll?
Roll.
Rolling Joel.
Rolling Joel.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, this has been amazing. These pairings have been so awesome, and it's something that I never would have thought of before.
This might possibly be the first beer and French macaron pairing ever.
Whoa.
Well, that's how it's going to be advertised.
Yes, absolutely.
Put it on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Anyone can write it.
Yeah.
And then France is going to be like, no.
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 They only drink wine there. What would they know about beer?
Yeah, beer, French beer, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
If France does pipe up, we'll just do what I do and tell them to shut up.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what you would tell a French person.
No, France.
Just France.
Oh, just France, the country.
The country.
France.
They're not your sponsor.
Last time I was there, I totally should have gotten like a little bottle of like French soil.
I wanted to steal some sand from Normandy when we visited, but I didn't.
Hey,
Could you do
that's
that?
different.
I don't think you're supposed to.
You could take some from Dunkirk, but that was
Yeah.
so boring.
Oh.
I mean, the movie, not the, not the battle.
whoa.
Super boring.
Although the battle didn't really occur, so there was no battle on the Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
No, I don't have to watch the
It's
movie.
history.
Or just
not-
history.
It's Texas history.
Hey,
everybody.
fun, Kirk.
The Titanic sank.
Did you see the remake?
What? The remake of what?
Is that when the Titanic comes
Shut
back
up.
up? Or
There you go.
the remix.
The remake.
I'm gonna break a little piece off of the Titanic here.
So there was a news story this week
R.
where
Kelly.
they
Break a piece off
identified
your Titanic.
Amelia
Yes.
Earhart's bones.
Oh yeah,
I'm kind of super excited. But then you read the article.
Just so we're clear, this is Kansas news.
Why would that be Kansas news?
She's
All right,
from
wait.
Kansas?
Hold on. Stop.
Oh, that's
And
why
she's
she
like,
crashed?
no, that's why she was an explorer. She's like, how can I get
Get out of this
Kansas?
fucking place.
Actually, no, since this is Kansas news, let's stop talking.
So, did a house fall on her?
Most sheet cakes are in the shape of Kansas.
But didn't you read, like, I read the article and it said it was like the bones were actually discovered in like
18.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
It's
that
pretty
science
early.
has developed.
not
It's not that long.
1800s.
Well, they
40s or
That would-
something.
I was gonna say it wasn't that long.
Yeah, actually-
the flight
She was
took
in the
place
20s,
30s.
30s.
So,
okay.
It's totally what
Well,
I said.
So when they first looked at them, they thought they were a man's bones, I think. And so they
Well-
completely like.
I mean, she was
She
kind
was-
of. She did kind
She
of look
had a
like
boy
man.
shape.
wow.
Well, so part of the story said that they had actually lost. They had actually lost her bones, so they aren't able to do any DNA analysis. But they found her
We can guess,
clothes.
though.
And they were man's clothes.
I don't know about that, but they had her clothes, like her wardrobe, and they had pictures of her next to scalable objects.
I don't remember any pictures, so I could have sworn that she had like a jacket that said Earhart. If only we knew whose jacket this belonged to. It was floating in the ocean.
If only we could read
I
the
think
name
it was
on it.
on an island, actually, is
Yeah,
where
that's
the
what
bones
I'm
were.
wondering.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Which
Where did they find
I
So
didn't read
she
the
was like-
article, but
It's
I was aware
this
that they
could be
found
Amelia
bones that-
Earhart or
that
Tom
they thought
Hanks.
could be.
Yeah.
Aww.
What a loss.
Too soon.
No.
He made it back.
I mean
Yeah.
the geese crashed into the plane, but he was able to. You know who's a real hero? Every pilot that didn't crash into the Hudson.
People. I was gonna say people who use Bing.
There you go. Keeping Bill at Microsoft employed.
He has a plane.
He doesn't work there anymore.
He has a,
Yeah,
He
does the
retired.
Bill and
Bill
Melinda
from
Gates.
yeah, well, Bill Gates.
Oh.
They did.
Oh, I didn't mean that Bill.
Different
I
Bill.
just meant the guy who operates Bing.
The one guy
Who
who's
Googles the stuff
responding.
that you're looking up.
Who runs
and
it from
then-
his garage?
He's like, why is Tony looking up Skull? He's like, he must be looking up schools in his area. I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna give him that instead. I feel like that's more of his speed.
Did you mean schools with a map of Peru?
Also, does it take him longer to look that up when he's mailing you your $5 check?
As he's looking it up. Oh, you're not better.
He's like, stamps are hard. Do you realize how far away the post office is?
Hey, Cutter, have you ever heard of stamps.com?
I'm not gonna do that. Actually, I tried to do that, and it was just so boring that it was like 2 weeks ago. It was like, "Hey, Cutter, when's the last time you mailed a letter?" Never. It's like you hate waiting in
The last time I
line.
mailed something without a prepaid envelope
Yeah.
was like junior high.
Yeah.
Except for Grandma, I love you. It's like, it was last Christmas.
Well, I'm glad that she's listening now.
Before we do this, I don't think we got all the way around. Which Mac?
Oh yeah, totally. Sorry. So typically in every episode we go through which beer was your favorite. I feel like now we
Actually, no, we've never done that.
Because you only do one beer at a time.
Well,
See, she
I
listens.
listen. I listen.
Unlike Tony.
Yeah, it's not like Tony.
Sarah showed me up.
Sorry.
I expect as much from me.
Wait, so did everybody get to say what their favorite macaroon was?
Chocolate.
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 Definitely chocolate ganache. And it's not that I didn't like the Baileys, but with this pairing,
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it.
I prefer the Baileys. I'm not a fan of the beer, but I like.
what's a strong beer?
Yeah,
I'm super glad we shared it.
Yeah, that was a great decision.
Was it though?
Unlike anything that happens on the podcast.
Except for the
New
news,
ideas.
News section. I got some news for you guys.
Okay.
Oh,
Wanna go
wait.
straight? So, inspired by the Three Beers In podcast, Untapped has decided to start their own podcast. Yeah. Called Launched. No, sorry.
Wait.
That's what it is. They're launching it. It's called Drinking Socially.
Wait, but we're trying to not be social, right? Or...
No.
So, I don't know.
Are you
Grassroots.
We're anti-social.
You're making up the part about inspired by the Three Beers.
Well, yes, of course.
Oh, Clint got the joke.
He's just adding that.
I was like,
for joining us,
Zing.
I was like this close to getting super excited about it. I was like, imitating us? That's like the highest form of flattery.
That's true.
That was the headline.
But they're
Imitation, highest form
Yeah.
of flattery. It's a saying.
It is.
Tony, do you not know sayings?
I know sayings.
Stop using Bing. You'll know more sayings.
Man, I'm gonna bing it when I get home.
There you go. Wait, what you do in your personal life is no business.
Now there's a clip of me saying, I'm gonna bing it when I get home.
Idiot.
You could totally do
Hey,
that.
do you have any supernatural news for us?
you keep telling us that you met Jared Padalecki, and then that's where it ends
Yeah.
every time.
I did.
Wait, hold on.
I literally routed a
Cutter.
We don't care. Shut up.
So, Joel, I thought where you were going to go with news was that there was an article this week that McDonald's is going to start selling beer. They're going to try it at
I
some
don't
of their
think they need
flagship.
to do that.
McDonald's also
You know
turned
what?
their M's upside down.
Yeah, I read that headline. So wait, so are they get
W?
Whack Arnold?
They-
Oh,
M upside down.
oh, so they didn't actually make new signs for all the rest.
No.
That would be pretty expensive, I guess.
Turning their M's
All their
upside down to make them
4.5
W
billion
to
stores.
represent women.
But wasn't Whack Arnold's doing that already?
Whack Arnold.
McDonald's.
Chappelle Show.
Was that the 90s?
No.
2000, early 2000s.
All right,
Yeah.
good. All right, well, I still have a thing. From about 85 to 99.
You don't remember anything.
No, that's what I do remember things.
Have you guys ever made your own beer?
No, actually, we were thinking about that.
Yeah, so-
That is one of the projects that we're talking about.
Have we decided on a type?
Yes.
No, we were looking for suggestions,
But we-
and nobody
we're,
said anything.
we're going to call it
We
Three
should have
P's in.
3 what?
Wait, no, sorry.
3 ingredients in?
No.
You would need yeast.
But beers.
Beers.
Cheers.
Where are we at on the beers?
Who's done? Who's not?
We are done.
Tony and I are done.
Well, you're done.
Wow.
Well, because they drink half.
Well, you know.
Wow.
All right. Round table. Best.
Knights of
let's
the
go
Round
best
Table.
macaron and beer combination of the night.
I say we go best beer, best macaron, best pairing.
Yes, I like that.
This episode has been all about the pairing.
I think mine is going to be the same.
Really?
As
Best
what?
pairing, best beer.
Okay,
best
would you like to
macaron.
start?
Sure, why not? I believe the Circle was my favorite beer, and of course the citrus. Or
the orange
and cardamom.
Cardamom.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my favorite macaron. And my favorite pairing was the Circle and the orange and
Nice.
cardamom.
Nailed it.
You're a real boring son of a bitch.
I feel like there's not a bad answer here.
There's not. There really is.
I mean,
Well, apparently that
we can
is
get. I mean, he might as well just bing that answer, you know? I think definitely from macaron, the orange was my favorite. The best pairing, though, I think was the stout and chocolate.
Nice.
But my favorite beer was probably the mix, the
Radler. That's pretty good. Yeah.
The wrench. It wrenched your nuts.
It didn't, because it will wrench your nuts.
Some people like that.
Yeah, some people do.
Go ahead.
I don't know if there was a pairing that I liked, but
what?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah,
she's right.
Do it. It's okay.
Oh, I'm gonna destroy. So first of all, I like the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like circle before this?
No, that was the thing. I had Blur before. I did not like, but the Envy I really liked. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Well, you're an ale fan.
Yeah,
right?
I like L's.
Yeah.
This one's different because it has.
I thought it was more lagery to me.
Yeah, and there was
because of the malt. The malt, yeah.
And lack of hops.
Yeah. So
that as well, yeah.
I like that probably the best. What was it? The blackberry?
Blackberry balsamic.
So hard between that one and the one with the spice. What was the spice one? The
cardamom.
Orange cardamom.
What's the hard one?
The Earl Grey tea. With
Yeah.
The Fruit Loops.
Wait,
The Fruit
what was
the Fruit Loops.
It's like a dreamsicle.
Which one did we match with each beer? We had the balsamic.
You matched
red bud with the balsamic blackberry.
And then the orange cardamom with the
circle.
The circle, yeah.
Okay, so then I like the circle with the one that we paired with that then, if we're pairing.
Mm-hmm.
But then separate those and go with the one that tasted like Fruit Loops cereal.
That was the one. Yeah.
That was the same one.
Same.
That was.
That's the one that was paired with the circle.
So you did have a favorite pairing.
So that was one of the things we covered that Joel contradicted himself a lot.
So, Joel, like Cutter, is another goddamn lie. Cutter, go ahead, lie to us.
What I would say is my favorite macaron is all of them.
And your favorite beer is
all of them.
No, but seriously, my favorite macaron was the lemon ginger one.
Oh.
Lemon ginger was my favorite.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cutter. I hate you.
So much every time. The lemon ginger one was my personal favorite. So like my favorite beer, the stout here. Like definitely the Lakewood.
Really?
That's my favorite beer.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Had you had that beer before?
No,
Okay.
I've not had any of these beers. I really
nice.
do try to be completely unbiased. My favorite pairing though was the red bud and the blackberry
Balsamic.
balsamic.
Nice.
Blackberry is so good.
I know.
I was all over the map, but I tried to get all of them.
Wait.
I bet you were all
what
over the map.
Map.
He's the Peru map.
Peru.
I binged it.
Topographical map of Peru.
All right.
Man, I'm gonna bing it when I get home.
Sarah?
So my personal favorite will always be the balsamic blackberry or the blackberry balsamic, but my favorite beer was the Circle Envy. My favorite pairing, it would probably be the red bud and the balsamic. I like how it just mellowed the beer out.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there really wasn't a bad pairing, so the only wrong answer was Ross's. So
Right.
Well, I was just picking my two favorites, not really a pairing, but
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
the same as you.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
like
was saying.
I like
What
the
was I
circle
saying?
and the.
So he's saying you are also wrong.
Yes, we were both wrong.
Yeah.
all right,
It makes sense.
Tony, what you got?
So I agree with Cutter that there is no wrong answer,
You're wrong, right?
and that alone is a wrong answer. But
Oh, wait, time out. So now it's on air that Tony agrees with me. We're not only the raisins.
what did
That's gonna
oh,
be
yeah.
the new intro for every episode,
Oh yeah.
so they know not to listen to either.
So my favorite Macaron was the chocolate ganache, but they were all awesome.
Yes.
My favorite beer was the Circle Blur.
Envy.
Circle Envy.
Envy.
Oh, sorry, Envy. Circle Envy.
I think you just completely discredited.
So favorite Macaron was the chocolate ganache.
Mhm.
Favorite beer was the Circle Envy.
Mhm.
Yes.
Favorite pairing was the first one.
Ah.
Lemon on lemon.
Yeah.
Death by
I
lemon.
can see that.
So you're with Cutter on that one.
No, that was my
No.
favorite macaron.
Oh, but what was your
No.
The favorite pairing was the second one.
Can you remember what it is?
Yeah, the blackberry and balsamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the beer?
With the
Red
beer.
Bud.
He just got excited about it again. So, and that's the thing. Like, they're all great pairings. If I had to have like 3 of them, I'd probably go that first one,
Yeah.
Lemon on Lemon.
Not a bad call.
That's one of my favorite Not a Surf songs.
Lemon on Lemon.
Yeah.
Lemon on Lemon. So, but I think part of it is that it was cut
1%.
and it was, half the alcohol.
Yeah.
To where
Cut with what?
B12. That's what you.
So, but no,
In Scarface, that's what all the mountains of white powder were.
It's just a lot of B12.
For your information. And
I'm
they
so
had-
healthy.
yeah, I'm sure that gave him a bit of a high snorting B12.
It was.
I'm sure this is water soluble. Really changes the movie. Like Pacino, he did a lot of character research for that.
F. Murray Abraham.
So, as far as these beers are concerned, so Circle is it's an approachable place. It's very centrally located.
Yes.
Where did you say Redbud was again? Is it
Wait,
in
you mean
town
Austin's
or-
Brewery District?
Independence is southeast Austin on
So
Todd Road.
closer to the airport?
It's closer to the airport.
Okay.
Can we talk about
Out that
how
way.
nobody picked Temptress?
I picked
Cutter did.
Cutter did.
I
what?
picked it.
Yeah.
I thought you said Red Bud.
No, that was my
The
pairing.
pairing.
My
But his favorite
but my
beer
pairing,
is the
My
Temptress.
pairing was Temptress in.
Cutter just trying to find a way to find
Yeah.
every beer.
No.
He's like these pairings.
No,
because
he
of
enjoys
beer,
heavy beers.
and then Temptress.
That's not all he
separate.
enjoys.
All right, guys. So today we were joined by the Temptress from Lakewood Brewing, Circle, and
That is not what I thought you were going to say.
It's like the
Tony,
Temptress from
talking
Cologne.
to you, Mike.
Sarah.
Please, yeah.
I was reading.
Yeah, the Temptress from Lakewood, Sarah.
The Temptress from Lakewood Brewing, Redbud from Independence Brewing Company, NV from Circle, and the Hefeweizen from Wrench Brewery,
And
as well as Sarah from Maison de Macarons with her amazing macaroons.
Thank you.
And pairings.
And pairings. Like it's the combination too.
She did all the work.
Yeah.
I did a
Put
lot
all
of
this together.
research.
Mhm.
We gave her
A lot
suggestions, and
done.
she did all of the work.
A lot of drinking.
People
Yes.
in the Texas Hill Country area, if you're in the mood for Macarons, hit up.
Maison de Macarons.
Thanks, Tony. I was gonna butcher.
And when would be a good time to reach out to you for what sort of events?
What is a good way to reach you?
If I have a Facebook. I have a website, Maison de Macaron.squarespace.com.
We'll post a link on our podcast.
Yeah, totally.
You sounded
very well.
I'm 4 beers in.
We'll post it on our webpage, 3beersinthepodcast.com.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything. Baby showers, weddings, birthdays,
Bar mitzvahs.
Tuesday evenings are
Tuesdays are a
good.
big one.
Yeah.
Hit her up on Tuesdays.
Yeah. Macaron Mondays.
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
hashtag back on Mondays.
Yeah.
Hashtag Macaron Mondays.
We'll
Absolutely.
get that trending somehow.
Just before Taco Tuesday.
We'll at least have one trending. One post.
Mustang Salad.
There'll be
She'll
two.
start trending it.
All week.
Yeah, because Mustang Sally is Monday already.
Mustang Mondays.
Mustang Mondays.
Hashtag Mustang Mondays. Hashtag Macaron Mondays.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Next week, we'll really get to the bottom of whether or not The Fifth Element is a good or a great movie.
Whoa. Hold on. That's not the question. The question is it a good movie or not? It's 1 or 0. And the answer is
1.
One.
Well, also,
This is the podcast.
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 Thanks for sticking around. If you liked what you heard, leave us a review. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbean, Google Play, and TuneIn. You can find us on our Facebook or Twitter at 3 Beers in Podcast. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. And if you didn't like us, why the hell are you still here? You should have turned this off long ago. But if you're just going to listen to us anyway, you should probably subscribe too. And if you would like a transcript of our podcast, write down everything that we just said.
Man, I'm going to bing it when I get home.